All right, let's dive right into this passage, see if we can get a sense of what the transition is naturally, and then we'll compare that to our answer choices. In the early 1900s, Jovita Idar fought injustice on both sides of the Mexico-United States border. As a reporter for the Texas newspaper La Crónica, she voiced support for the Mexican people's revolt against authoritarian rules. That sounds good. She founded the League of Mexican Women, a group that advocated for the rights of Mexican Americans. Also sounds good. So looking at our answer choices then, a word like rather, which is kind of a contrast word, a but word, doesn't make any sense. There's no negative here. We got two positive things. In C, that means what it, just says, for example. Notice these are both examples. The sentences are two examples of how she fought injustice. So in order to use C, this second thing would need to be an example of the first. That's not happening. They're two separate examples here. So this is just not right. It's also not a conclusion because what was the argument? What were we doing? This, again, it is an example, but it's not an example of the voicing support for the people's revolt. It's fighting injustice. So additionally is right because these two things are both examples of her fighting injustice. So yes, this whole paragraph is about examples, but we need to make sure we're understanding the order and the logic of how those examples are presented. This is a very common thing I've noticed on the SAT is they know that you sense it's an example, so they give you that option, but the order makes that word or that transition word not right. So just be careful of whether they're giving us an example of a claim or multiple examples of a claim, and we gotta really make sure we're always relating the sentence that has the blank to the one that comes immediately before it, not to something at the beginning, right? It's what comes before it. That's how the transition works between those two sentences. So hopefully that makes sense. And like I said, this is a common thing I've noticed. They did this, I think, even a couple times in this module. So just be on the lookout for this, where they mess with the way that you think about examples. It probably will come up again.